Todd McGee here. Hope everyone's doing great at home. Wanted to address a comment that I had the other day talking about rotation through impact and then also release pattern. Sometimes they're related, sometimes they're not. I'm going to sort of talk to them today as a related topic. So when we're looking at rotation at impact, it's almost like, well, what's going to lead to that? Okay, what's going to incentivize your body to rotate in a good way through the hitting zone? A couple things that are important. Obviously, if the club is coming down and it's out of position, meaning too much on top, or say even too much behind, where you have to either stop your body to get it in front, or because it's so much on top, you have to stop and stand up. Those are two things that are going to really affect your rotation through impact. The other thing that's going to affect it is how we're creating the transition move, meaning when the transition happens, and then also where the body position is as you make that transition move. Meaning, as I start to transition, am I starting by creating more stretch sort of through my lead side? Okay, or am I starting with my hands and arms? If I'm starting with my hands and arms, that's not going to really encourage rotation through the hit, right? So the arms would let out, and then as I come in, it's going to be harder to rotate through. There's a blend there. There's some good players that do have a little bit of hand starting, but then they also support that with a lot of body rotation with creating stretch just later, okay? So at some point in the downswing, you're going to need the body to start pushing. Basically, this left hip's going to be, for me, my left hip's pushing back, okay? The center of my chest is pushing back to create more stretch through this lead shoulder. And if I have that and a good club position, then I can use this trail side and really push as I'm hitting it. If I don't create stretch and I let the club out too much, or I let it get too much on top, then as I come in, it's going to really it's going to incentivize me to be square. Where if I get to the top and I get up here and I start down, creating that stretch, letting the club follow me, then I, like even right here, I feel a lot of stretch sort of through this lead side. And then from that position, I can keep pushing as I'm hitting, pushing off the ground and pushing off that right foot. And then that can allow me to drive through the hit. So I get up to the top, creating stretch. Then I get to that spot and I can start pushing through the hit to produce that nice strike. Okay, so with those ideas, as we're creating that stretch, then I get to a point where I'm here. If the club's in a good spot, then I can start pushing off the ground to keep encouraging myself to rotate through the swing. That swing, actually, that was my first swing of the day. It had 96 miles an hour of speed with a 7. Just using that stretch feeling and then using that push through the hit to help me deliver a good strike on that ball. So that will help the rotation through the hit. The second part is the release. Again, if the club is out of position, you'll have to put forces into the grip near impact to get it back into position, and then that typically is going to affect what it does on the release, on the post-impact side. If I can have the club in a good spot where I can let the club continue to swing and then release it, where I can let my body support it, and then I'm letting the club totally release, that is, to me, the optimal way to do it. There's going to be a little bit of, there's some players where they can have a bit of a stronger face and then they can feel like they maintain the face. If the face is more neutral around there, then I can feel like the face is rotating and releasing a little bit more. So that's, again, player dependent. But the main thing of this is I don't want you to have to adjust close to impact. I want it to be at a good spot, and then it's just a free swing, and then keep letting the club move as you support it with your rotation or your newly found rotation through impact. I hope that helps. If you need any more help or more instruction online, check out toddmcgeegolf.com. I've been doing a lot of online lessons, and it's nice to be able to interact with people and answer their questions specific to them, because everyone is a little bit different. I hope these videos are helping you identify some areas where you can be better in your swing. And again, not every video is for everyone, but if it's an area that you feel like you need to do better, I hope the videos can help you take that next step.